Alrighty, welcome. Okay, so this is basically week one, kicking off again for another 6 weeks. And our Ruby accountability is something that I want to continue doing because I think it's really important to meet together as leaders and kind of get that little shot in the arm every week with inspiration, encouragement, focus on some things maybe you haven't thought about or you are reminded of. And so my thought is let's run this for 6 weeks. So we have 7 days left in June, and then we will basically finish out our 6 week little stint at the end of July. So kind of like the end of the fiscal year. And so everything drives to end of July. I feel like that is a really good benchmark. It's regardless of whether you're going Emerald this July or next July, it's a really good reminder of kind of that benchmark point. And then we'll take off for another 6 weeks or whatever works. So I just feel like kind of that focused time together. Everyone seemed to want 4 p.m. Central on Tuesdays, which is fine. My brain just works better if I know, okay, Tuesdays is our call day for a Ruby call or team call, all the things. So, all right, well, we're feeling very inspired coming home from convention. How about you guys? You guys have any takeaways that you want to pop in the chat? Any overarching themes that kept sticking out? Feel free to pop them in the chat. Justin and I were just talking about how when we decided to do this, well, one, it started with a decision, and then two, it was followed by massive action. And like we kept the pedal down. We were home. My brother and his wife were over when we got back from a bowl game. What was it, Monday night? Whatever night that was. And he was like, yeah, I remember when you guys like started doing the Plexus thing. He would have been like 12. So it was 10 years ago. And so we like really briefly shared, because he's an entrepreneur. And we briefly shared like our story. And he was like, that's cool. And Justin, we were saying, just recounting, like Justin would leave because he worked at a road construction company. So he'd leave like by 4 a.m., get home after dark once the kids were like ready to be tucked in bed. And then we would work Plexus, seriously, you guys, from like 9 p.m. till like midnight, 1 a.m. And we did that for years.
Wow.
It was a while. And even after like we hit different benchmark goals and things like that. And so we're just kind of like reminding ourselves like how we used to work this. And it wasn't like the timing, whatever, that's just what it was because of that season in our life. But he said to me at convention, he's like, we needed to go get back to doing what we once did. And so we just watched Rocky 3 with the kids the other night, which I say we.
Best movie ever made, by the way.
I fell asleep. Chucky and Abigail, I heard that you fell asleep. You fell asleep.
Just during the boring part.
Oh, okay. Anyways, Rocky 3 is really great. You guys should go watch it, maybe the whole series. But he got comfortable. And I feel like it is a pitfall that can plague any of us literally at any rank. Because you can get really comfortable after you hit gold. You can get really comfortable after you hit ruby. You can get really comfortable after you go emerald. Are you going to say something?
And if you think you can get comfortable there, when you go diamond, you can get real comfortable real fast and you can drop real fast. And so one thing it reminded me of, I was thinking about this through, actually, I don't know how to explain it. My life has totally changed since February. So since Leaders Retreat or lack of Leaders Retreat for me, but I was there, but I didn't get to do anything. But literally everything has changed in my, God is a way to get your attention. He's a master of getting your attention. And one of the things that for me was, I've been thinking about the story of David, King David. So he was at one time in his youth, he was the baddest warrior around. There wasn't anybody tougher. He was the guy. And yet, he became king. And sometimes when you hit a rank or you hit something like that, you can get very comfortable and you start acting more like a prince than a king. And what I mean by that is like when he was supposed to be in battle, and he was stayed back at the castle, and he should have been out with kings leading the troops in the trenches, doing all the things, yet he stayed back at the castle and chose comfort. um, and it really, those decisions led to, if you're not familiar with, if you are familiar, you'll know. If you're not, you should go read it. But that's when he saw Bathsheba. Like, one decision of comfort led to another decision of comfort of all these different things, and just it totally changed his house forever. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately, just in light of Plexus, in light of life. um, Comfort is not good, and I've it's just not good. We are not designed to be comfortable. God did not create us to be comfortable. He created us to work. Um, and it doesn't, like, this idea of retirement, all these things. Yeah, it sounds great, but in the road construction industry, whenever anybody retired, they typically died. And so, because they just stopped moving, they stopped working. There was no purpose, and no, and there's only so much golf you can play, and so it's like, so who are we serving? Why are we serving them? And I just been thinking a lot about that, especially as leaders.
Mhm.
It really doesn't matter how high you get, how far you go. There's still work to do.
Mhm.
There's still people to help. There's still, and as I have already entered into my second half of life, I've been thinking a lot about that. I'm like, okay, I'm 49, just coming into my prime. And so,
He just keeps saying
yeah.
that.
Hey, words are important. Words
Yeah.
are powerful. So, I'm not going to say I'm old, because I'm not. But I just been thinking a lot about these things, like, how do I want to end? How do I want to end, you know, our career with Plexus? How do I want to end my time on this earth? How do all these things, like, I want to end well. I want to end climbing a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. I want to keep my foot on the gas. I want to keep, if anything, for example's sake. Um, and the farther we go, the higher we get, the more we accomplish, the more we can help other people. And so, anyway, those are just some things that I was thinking about it at um, convention. I was thinking about David. Like, we need to be, as leaders, we need to be out in the field, in the trenches, in the mud, in the muck, in the mire. Not back at the castle. And I'm saying that to me. I'm not saying that to anybody in particular here. But anyway, I was really encouraged with those things, and it really, that's just been my life the last 4 months. Really, just total, my mind has been renewed on every single level, I think, Plexus included. So
Mhm.
anyway, just some thoughts I've been having.
Okay, type 1 in the chat if you have re-entered the vortex since you've gotten home from convention. Anybody else besides us? I'm pretty sure there are, because I've chatted with a lot of you. Okay, so the two biggest battles are going to be for your mind. The two biggest battles for your success are going to be the battle for your mind and the battle for your time. There's probably other battles too, but those are the two biggest things that are going to make or break your success level with Plexus. And I would encourage you, if you have not got invested in some books, get some books, get whatever, do the Audible if you have to. Justin reordered these because we keep losing them, aka I keep giving them away probably to people. I don't know. If you have these books
So
about
if you have them,
enjoy.
enjoy my notes that I wrote in them. I have to write new notes in these ones, and I'm going to put them in my safe. So I
So
don't
I can't give them away.
hand it out.
Okay, GoPro. Justin downloaded this onto Audible and was listening to it while I was mowing all day Saturday afternoon. Okay, leaders are learners, and you can relearn things from the greats, right? This is a fantastic book. If you have not read this one, The Greatest Networker in the World.
My favorite network marketing book, by the way.
The point is, if you haven't read Build to Last, go get over your damn self. GoPro, Millionaire by Halftime, Greatest Networker in the World. Like, those are baseline. You gotta, if you want to be successful and you want to be a diamond, you want to be at the top of the company, like you gotta pay your dues, which that's learning the skills and that's continuing to relearn and just put it in your brain, right? I'm listening, or I'm not listening. I'm reading The Power of One More by Ed Milet. I have a lot of books. I have like stacks on my bed, and I do like, different nights I read different books. However, I just started this one. Justin thinks that's so crazy of me.
I'm just not wired that way. I can't do that. So, but that's
Great.
okay. That's okay.
Okay, anyways, I want to encourage you guys to carve out time. For me, it works usually first thing in the morning or before I go to bed to be in the Word, have a prayer list or a prayer time. Maybe that's when you're walking or whatever, and read a personal growth book. Even if all you get, like Sunday afternoon, Abigail was like interrupting me every 2 minutes. I think I read 2 pages. It's okay. The point is you need to have something to be feeding your brain, because your brain is not going to be doing yourself any favors. It's going to be it's basically like your worst enemy. And if you have, family or friends or people from church or whoever that are kind of the negative Nancy's in your life that are also not encouraging you in this entrepreneurial endeavor, all the more reason to double down and why you have to have outside inspo. And that's why we were talking about this in the chat earlier this week. But if I wouldn't have made a point and been really intentional to plug into trainings, like just go to YouTube and type in Plexus training or whatever, stuff will pop up and you can be popping it in your earbud. If I would not have done that over the past 10 years, I would not be where I'm at. Like my brain doesn't do me any favors. I get discouraged, I get demotivated, and life gets really, really loud. And so whenever I'm doing any sort of mindless task or driving, you better believe I'm listening to a training of some sort or listening to you guys' voice messages now. But that cues me in to, like, when I am going to go sit down and do Plexus, I'm inspired, like, because I have been listening to the greats, whoever the greats are, right? Whoever I want to listen to at that point. But I didn't think it was really interesting because he's talking about this matrix concept, which is basically giving your brain more focus, more proof. The whole RAS, reticulating activating system, I think is what it's called, like where your brain starts to notice opportunity because you have given it some feed and some food in that direction. But I liked how he said, if you're an entrepreneur, you already train your brain to look for opportunities, not roadblocks. To some degree, your matrix filters out all the people who are not good candidates for you to work with, and instead focuses on the ones you're most compatible with. I'm a big believer, this is Ed, saying that everything you need is already in and around you right now, if you can just put in the work to see it. I think that's so interesting because with what we do, like we should always be networking. We should always be looking like feelers out, antennas up for next business builders, listening in conversations to pain points that people have, like as we're in conversations with people. But I thought this was really good. He said, you have to continuously and consciously fill your matrix. That's what he calls it. But basically, you got to fill your life or your brain with the thoughts that you want. Let your beliefs become so embedded that you're not even aware that they exist. Be doggedly persistent if you want success. It's like, I know it's cliche, but it's so super key. And we were talking about like how your mind and your time are two biggest battlegrounds. I have noticed recently that I have been battling procrastination, and I just put a name on it. I have been procrastinating doing the basic things. Doing the basic things. I mean, not posting, like that's not hard for me. It's the line by line, the messaging, then the conversations that ensue from, the feedback that I get from that. So remove procrastination from your life. Procrastination is opportunity's assassin. Conversely, change is the instigator of opportunity. He says, few things are more expensive than opportunities you miss. You pay for them with regret, doubt, and a lingering, haunting feeling of what could have been. And so anyways, the next chapter is like the one more try. That's what successful people are amazing at, because they did it one more time. One more rep, one more try, one more conversation, one more thing, one more day. So anyways, that little plug for be invested in your own personal growth, because this gig is you. You are your business card. You are the leader. You are the CEO of your business. And like Justin and I can pop on here and tell you guys all the things or whatever, but it really boils down to the action that you guys take, which is stemming from the beliefs that you guys have and the vision that you have. We were chatting with Rose earlier today, and I totally screenshotted this. I can't remember who I sent this to, who else I sent it to, but she said, because she said, I see it all the time. The reason people don't get to the top question mark, they give up too soon, which I feel like that was totally a theme at convention was don't quit. Don't you dare quit. And then two, or they never really do the work. And I think that's a pitfall for any of us. Like even if you have done the work, the continued you have to continue to do the work. So, okay, so to guard your mind, fill your mind with good things, books, worship music, the God's word, huge. Second thing is we've got to get on top of our time, like where our time is going. If we say we want Plex's icon, if we say we want that by August 31st, right? I made my little board so I can make it visual for myself. If we say we want that, then that translates into hours spent earning it. And it's been a battle for me because I know maybe all of the moms on here can relate, but I can spend literally all of my day meal prepping, cooking food, cleaning my house, homeschooling my kids, doing projects outside, cleaning closets, working in my garden, and the list goes on and on and on. Volunteering for different things, serving in various ways. However, the reality is this takes time. It takes time, attention, and it takes brain space. And it takes as much brain space than it does actually doing the tasks. And sometimes what I find myself doing is planning my work, but not actually working my plan. So, anyways, I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here, but these are just things that I have noticed in myself, and the lack of action and effort totally translates into success down the road. You might not see it right now, but it will show itself in 90 days. Okay. So number one thing is in light of action is to make your goals visible. Shout out to Laura Ferry. I think she was the first one that chimed in that she made her goals visible by getting some post-it notes, post-it notes, whiteboard, sheet of paper, whatever works for your brain. You got to get it down on paper yourself. Like you can see me do it, you can see Laura do it, and whoever else. But until you actually do it yourself, like consider it not done. Your goals will not happen if they are not in a physical format. Also, notice, did you notice what I'm wearing? My next goal is sapphire. So everyone needs to make it visible in any cheesy way you want. Okay. It could be, printouts that you throw on the fridge. It could be you start wearing more sapphire blue or emerald green, or you have screensavers on your phone. Carrie got this for me. It's like a sapphire blue little Kendra Scott necklace when I went sapphire the first time. And so whatever it is, make your goals visible. Paint your toenails, whatever, to get it right in front of you. What are you going to do, Justin?
Not paint my toenails. I can promise you that.
Yes. All right. Do you have something else?
Keep going.
Okay. All right. So I wrote down, it starts with a decision. So to me, Plex's icon, like earning that by August 31st gives us all a goal, which I've been mass messaging all of us to get a verbal yes if you're in for doing that, for going for it. I think I've heard back from most all of you saying yes. Yes, you're in. And then for all of us leaders, it's not just us in. Yes, personally, we're going to do that. But then we've got to find out who of our leaders are also in. So you guys use my message if you want and just copy paste it to each of your people that could potentially do it. And so it's really important to figure out who from your team. That way you know who you're supporting, who you're going to be helping to hold accountable, giving them little popcorn ideas and that kind of thing. So it starts with a decision. Also, I think motivation follows decision. Like the worst thing that we could be is indecisive, because then you're kind of like half in, half out. If it works, if it doesn't. Oh, there's too many things going on. My life is, full of all these different interruptions and necessary emergencies or whatever. Vision and belief is what's going to keep you going. Okay, so you need to have a really clear, solid vision for where you're going and why. So if you need to write it down again, rewrite it. I know I challenged everybody at convention to like make that super plain and share it with us. So if you have a screenshot, send it to us so we can see it. I was challenging Lisa Stanley earlier today because she sent me, um, there was like a screenshot from conventions like before you leave this room, 1, 2, 3. They had like 3 different things they wanted us to do. She sent those to me, and I encouraged her. I said, okay, this is fantastic. This is a post. You need to go make that post because she basically wrote a post by writing down her vision for what she wants. And I said, you need to make it live in your story, and you need to voice message this to yourself so that you can listen to yourself say back what this vision is. So anytime you get discouraged, you're going back to that messenger of yourself to yourself and that message and re-listening to yourself, vision cast for you. Because the discouragement will come. There'll be the days that you don't feel like doing this, or there'll be days when all hell breaks loose. But also people are attracted to our enthusiasm. And so keeping that vision fresh on our minds is ginormous. Also, I know this goes without saying, but you got to be willing to work your butt off. Welcome to network marketing, probably like any other entrepreneurial gig, but we worked our butts off to get where we've been, where we are. And I mean, we're ready for a new wave of momentum and we're willing to work our butts off again. So keep us busy, keep us happen with, phone calls or events, or, we'll try to support as much as we can. Also, this goes back to the decision piece, but you have to muster up the want, because if the drive and the desire isn't there, like it's gonna fizzle. So like you have to have an ongoing drive that like keeps you like vision focused moving forward.
I think this important thing to mention too is like why do you want it? What do you want? I think it's very important. We talked about goal setting for 10 years now, and the same goal setting process has not changed. And since I teach it out of the same book every single time I teach it, has never changed. It won't change as we go forward unless I find something else, but I doubt it. But one reason is why, people talk about your why or whatever, but why do you want to succeed, or why do you want to rank up or hit a certain rank, whatever that is? You get to decide what that is, or you get to decide what success is for you, for your family, for your team. I mean, so you get to put that on paper, but really think through why you want to succeed. And I think once you decide why you want to succeed, or who you want to succeed for, then you'll fight through the down times. Then you'll fight through, point drops or loss of rank, or when your family member says something negative to you. I mean, you have to have something a lot of times bigger than rank to keep you moving through those things. And a lot of time it's tied to people. Your why, the whole why thing is great. It sells books, it makes bumper stickers, whatever. But really, I think it's who. Who is more important than your why? So your why is, I've said this for years, your why is always attached to a who. Like, why do I want to succeed? Just in golf, me personally, I've wrote it down. I want to succeed because there's a lot of people. I want to succeed, one, for the people who have gone before me, like family members, my dad, my grandpa, my great grandpa. Like, we have a horrible family record, but we've been getting better the last few generations, and they've done some work, and now it's my turn. And so I want to do, for anything that they poured into me, I want to succeed for them and what they've passed down to me. I want to succeed for the ones coming after me, which are my children. I want them to see me succeed at an earlier age than what my parents succeed, any successes that they had. I want to be 10, 20, 100 times more than my parents, so that I can show my kids, like, hey, these things are possible. I can do this and you can do this. Why? Because I want to be something? No, because I want the next generation to go higher and further than I did. And they will. We've screwed up and raised some stinking thing. I don't even know. It's crazy. So it's like,
they're ready to live life.
Oh my gosh. You guys have no idea. Anyway, you'll find out soon enough. But we are raising some world changers, and
And you
which
guys
is
too.
what we said we wanted to do.
Yeah.
But now we're sitting here like, wow, they are really world changers, and I don't even know what to do with them now. And so, like, but the point is, why? So why do you want to succeed in this business? And who is that attached to? My ultimate goal is freedom. Like, it's my ultimate goal with all this. It's not really money. It's not really a rank. No, it's freedom.
Hmm.
Biblically speaking, 70 years, 80 if by strength you have 80. I'm at 49. I can do basic math. 31 years, according to that scripture, I have left on this planet. I'm going for 100, but we'll see what happens. So what do I want to do with it? I want to be free. I want to be free. And network marketing is, I was listening to that GoPro book on audiobook. It's really good, but it's saying network marketing is not perfect. It's just better. It's just a better option. And from an employee, if you have an employee mindset and you go to a job, nothing wrong with jobs. I've had plenty. The Lord provided a lot of great jobs throughout the years, and I learned a lot of great lessons through all of them. However, an employer is only going to pay you as much, they'll pay you as much as they need to, but as little as possible to keep you around. They're trying to keep their doors open. They're going to pay you as little as they can to keep you there, right? And so network marketing, think about it from a network marketing perspective, though. How much does a network marketing want to pay you? As much as possible. Like, they want, just the way they're structured is different.
Hmm.
They want you to make as much money as possible. That's their program. And I don't know of any other industry necessarily, maybe in sales, certain aspects of sales, but like, they want you to make as much money as possible. And so really, network marketing is not perfect, just like Eric Worre said, but it is better. I haven't found anything better than this yet, other than maybe crooked politics, if you get in and like steal money or something. But like, other than that, network marketing's at the top from what I can tell. So
Yeah. Well, and when you were talking, I totally wrote down, and this was before you said it, but what Ed Milet said, which is the who, attach the who. Who are you doing
yeah,
this for? And like that hit me so strongly. And just thinking of, you know, my heritage and like who am I doing it for? And then my lineage, my legacy, who
yeah.
am I doing it for? So keep that also on your brain as you're moving forward these next 6 weeks. Enthusiasm and energy. We have to have the most on our teams. The way we communicate to people, which is born out of what we believe and the excitement that we have, is a really, really, really key piece in moving things forward. And I know Amy Booker has said before, she's like, it's just me, myself, basically, like in my chats, all the exclamation points, all the like emojis, like end of month, everyone, so excited. And so there are some times where you may be the sole person working or cheerleading, but you got to still show up. Like a whole slew of people are rowing the boat with you. Okay. All right. So we talked about decisions, protecting mind and time. Did I say, I don't know if I said this, but we have got to carve out the time in our schedule for like the protected plexus hours, whatever that looks like, whatever time of day makes sense in your schedule to like actually get it done. And then you need to have like a recap day. So like maybe Monday through Wednesday was crazy. It was all nooks and crannies, but you know that Thursday from 1 to 5 or Saturday morning from 5 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. or whatever, you have carved out that pocket in your week somewhere to get all the things done that didn't get done in your other days where you had planned to have work hours. So set yourself up for success in that way. If you have small children, hire some help. Hire some help, whatever that looks like. If your kids are older and it's a revolving door and everyone always needs you at the house, go to the library, go to the coffee shop, whatever, to like get it done and stuff. Set yourself up for success so you're not frustrated, because you don't want to be working out of frustration. Ask me how I know. Okay. All right, let's talk about action. So number one is figuring out whether you're making the choice to earn the icon status. And I would say the date of August 31st is a great benchmark to write down and commit to that. So yourself, and then also figure out the who from your team. Okay. Number one assignment, that's huge assignment. Okay, number two thing. Oh wait, did I okay, so one thing that I was doing today, so I'm not asking you guys to do something that I'm not doing. So I went through and made lists of people, lists of leaders, and then I'm starting to go through and make lists of, okay, this was my diamond account people, and then this is my reentry account people. Those are people that have ranked up in the past. Maybe they've had a +1, maybe they've gone silver. I mean, some of these are a blast from the past. Like my very first customer ever, she went silver. Guess what? I sent Debbie a message. I was like, "Hey, Debbie," I can share my verbiage too in the chat after this, if you guys want to kind of see what I'm saying. Different things to different people, kind of based on you know where they're at in their journey. But my goal is to find out which leaders are game for earning this by August 31st, and then which dabblers or former sharers would be open to restarting, or some of them never went senior silver. So my goal is to figure out who are my potential senior silvers. And notice I put more than two on here with my sticky notes. So my goal is to actually help more than two senior silvers. And newsflash, you may message through all your former sharers and even current customers to see if there's any interest, and there may be none. I may hear back from zero of these people. I don't know, but I feel like that's my first like chunk of messages that I'm doing. So make your list, go line by line. You guys all know how to pin the columns to the left in your back office and your genealogy. Pin left and then sort it. So I like obviously I kept it as level ones, and then I pinned what did I pin? The highest achieved rank, so I could see that. And then just went line by line, wrote down their names, and then I messaged the group. Okay. And then the next set of people in my brain right now is the skin health potentials. So the goal is to get as many of your current customer base on the skin health. Get trying it. Former customers. I mean, swing back to all the people. Angie shared some verbiage. We can put in the chat as well. She's gotten at least two, maybe more, people that kind of tapped out of the supplement line of things, but we're totally happy to try the skincare thing. Also, you guys can recruit people for the business because of the skincare line. So don't discount. You may not have gotten gotten leaders or enough leaders that are passionate about gut health, but you could get some that are passionate about skin health. And some of the rodent and fields people are like, have said, I'm not doing that anymore. It got a little too expensive, whatever. Think through like your network marketing friends, people that, maybe used to be in skincare aren't anymore. I know Lisa Winters just signed a new leader that's going to work the business that worked for like corporate skincare company. And so you just never know, but you have to, that's the whole awareness thing, is like be thinking who on in your network would be open to it. So customers, and then the next group of, because I work better when I chunk it down into like demographics, and so then potentials. That is another area of focus, messaging. So that's the crux of this business also, is messaging, voice messaging, connecting with people in person. Oh, how many of you guys got the samples? Where's that little thingy? The samples, I ordered more today. They actually have Bright Eye samples too. So I carried these in my purse. I was like, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity. Everyone knows that we're coming home from convention. So yes, I had these in my purse on Sunday, and I was giving them out to girls at church, and I brought them to the ball games, because there's different girls that they're either former customers or whatever, a lot of them are former customers or current customers or sometimes customers. And so I'm like, hey, we just got back from convention. It was a really easy conversation. Hey, we just got back from convention. We just launched a brand new skin health line. It's super clean. It's like the kind of microbiome and, all about gut health and skin microbiome. Try and see what you think. And a lot of these girls are in their 30s or pushing 40. And so it's like kind of time for grown up skincare. And I think there's so many available options. Sometimes it's like, well, I don't even know what to use. Do I use tallow? Do I just, use nothing? Just, so I think when they have someone in their life, it's like, hey, you should try this. See what you think. So, anyways, there is an informational call about the skin health by Dr. Hartman on Saturday morning. So make sure that you check that out. Plug your people into it. Even though we heard a lot of the probably similar training at convention, it's good to rehear it. So you have like those little bullet points that are easy to talk about when you're in person with people, or team Zoom or whatever. Also, Eric Worre is doing the Icon like kickoff call on Thursday. So make sure you mark that on your calendar for 7 p.m. Thursday. Okay. Let's see.
Wait, can I say something?
Please.
Okay, I put my message in here, but I had to do it in 2 separate ones because you can only put so many characters here. So I put it in the Ruby chat. And I also wanted to say, in case you guys have not started the skincare or you haven't been in it too much, I have done it for about 3 weeks. Actually, Thursday it'll be 3 weeks. And about the end of week 2, my skin started getting really dry, like kind of peely, not like I had a sunburn that was peeling, but just like flaky. Push through, because a couple days past that and it's so much better. Because literally what can happen with certain there was a couple of diamonds that were sharing some information with me, I think like vitamin A and a couple different things. When your face isn't used to that and you're putting it in, it can be like a detox thing. And we're talking about the microbiome of the skin, right? Same thing with the gut. Like we always tell people, oh, it's detox, it's die-off, whatever. Push through, because you'll be so glad that you did. After, I am completely obsessed. And one more thing, I didn't really care for the sunscreen at first, but here's what I did. I got a little bit of warm water on my fingers and put it here and just kind of rubbed it together to kind of warm it up. And then I put it on. Now I'm like, I'm all about it.
Well, and I think for me, hearing that dermatologist lady, the really slow talker, Joseph was making like crazy comments during that lady's talk. He was like, bad boy, front
We were on
row.
the front row, and so it was really funny. But
He was like, this is gonna be hard.
and I was right about everything. That's
Anyways, the one thing that she said that I really tracked with was that, what was it, 70% or 90% of sun damage? What's wrong?
okay. To my defense, when she was speaking, I'm sure she's a wonderful human being. There was these awkward pauses, like she was expecting people to clap. So I just told Megan, I'm like, I'm just gonna start clapping, because she just like come up with these really weird, like she would just pause, and we're all like, what
What's happening?
is happening now? And she did it over. So anyway, that was the.
He was really
Am I wrong?
The
Were there awkward pauses in her speech? Is it okay? Thank you.
Say yes.
Thank you.
Anyways, okay, found it. 90% of visible aging comes from sun exposure, which my mom has preached this for years. I didn't know until like 3 days ago that she used to lay out on tin foil, which that makes sense why she's like, girls, cover your skin, wear big hats, put the sunscreen on, mineral based. It doesn't matter if you look like a zombie, it's totally fine. But 90% of visible aging comes from sun exposure. And I liked that that lady said that this will not absorb into your bloodstream because it's mineral based. Interesting, because I've always wondered, like, is sun excessively demonized because they want us all putting toxins on our skin and causing skin cancer from a different angle? I don't know. So I've kind of had a question mark in my mind, which I've just tried to play it safe by not being out excessively, like in the midday, or covering up when I can. But I feel like the sunscreen has grown on me, because when they said it's like a base for your makeup, I was like, okay, I can handle that. And anyways, I appreciated some of the things she shared on that. Okay, also, we're doing a giveaway if you didn't see it yet on the team page. So tag your people, or like as you're messaging, which I can throw some of my messages in the chat too so you guys can see it. But I'm telling my customers, hey, did you see the skincare line that just launched? Be sure to go comment once you order. Like, I'm assuming they're gonna order it and try it. So assume it. Don't just ask, hey, if you try it. It's when you try it, make sure you go enter on that giveaway. So utilize that to your advantage. Okay, and then, last one for 2 things. last but not least, urgency with events. Okay. The hallmark of a leader is that you host your own events and you're not waiting for someone to come rescue you and for a leader to host it for you. Go host your own events, get something on the calendar even before the end of this month. Okay. Your people, your network, they want to hear from you. They don't know us. They don't know your upline. They don't really care about them. They want to hear how you talk about Plexus products, why you like them. It does not have to be some big rigmarole thing. Like you could literally say, what is today? Tuesday? You could literally say, Thursday, I'm doing an open house. Stop by on your way to the pool. Stop by. It's not school time anymore, but like something simple. You could do an open house even, like 4 to 7. You're going to have stuff out on your counter. People can swing by, swing in. Kids can play, whatever. It can be so simple, so insanely simple. You can meet up at the park, meet up at the pool. My friend Hannah, she did a sip and see from her van because she's like, that's where we're all at. We're at the ballpark. Like, Hannah, that is brilliant. Okay, so urgency with events. Don't wait till August or end of July when Angie's hosting. Like when we're hosting those corporate events, there needs to be like back to back events hosted. Especially, there's a lot of new people. There were new people at convention from our team. There's new people joining us every single day on our teams that have the potential to share with their networks. And so I think it's really, really important with all these new people that are excited and they're fresh and they're coming back from a convention, get events scheduled on the books, encourage them to host their own. If you can go and support them, fantastic. But urgency with events, and I've told this so many times, but what I encourage, what we do on our team is if you're gonna go through the effort of hosting an event, do 2 back to back. Tuesday, Thursday, I don't even know, but Wednesday evening, Saturday morning, and then followed up with an online. Like, if you're gonna go through the effort to do it, you might as well get in the role. You're gonna learn from the first one. You're gonna make some pivots and some changes, and you're gonna like take a deep breath and you're gonna go do it again with maybe a new network of people. But some of the people that can come on Tuesday can't come on Thursday, or vice versa, or maybe none of them are local, but they'll totally hop on an online event. We've had some online events post like as a follow-up for in-person that are actually more successful. Which, how do you rate that, right? Because there's a lot of belief. Sometimes it's only customers that show up, whatever, for in-person events. But sometimes we get more signups actually from online thing after we host the in-persons. And so don't bank your success level on any one event. It's the cumulative effect of all the ones that you host in the entire history of your career. And they work. It doesn't have to be lots of people. We always encourage people like, hey, if you had one person show up and they signed up, you have 100% success rate on that event. Okay, and then lastly, countdown chats. Okay, this is how Marianne and Jen Cobb trained from the Jewel stage during Jewel training, and they were saying around the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of the month, that is when you want to start creating those chats. So rank up chats, you have a buffer time, so we're not waiting until the 28th to start the countdowns, but you're helping people, like not even just for a Jewel rank, but any rank, where you're figuring out the gap and what's needed to gain even before subs process. That way we're training and teaching our teams that we're not waiting for a surprise on the 28th and then like, oh, whoops, like we're way too far away to even push for it. Okay, so we're working on the front end, figuring out the projections where once subs run, what the gap is, and then working on whittling that down. And for smaller teams, it might be, every 3 orders or every 5 orders. It doesn't have to be like, oh, we're going to do a countdown from 25 and then like no one chimes in, right? So, and you got to keep chats encouraged and lively and do some giveaways and fun things like that. So keep that on your brain too, just from like creative things. I liked what Melody shared. I'm sure you guys all caught that, but she is putting out an incentive for any of her people that go senior silver. She's gifting them a skin health system. I thought that was a really fun idea. Obviously, it's an investment in that person. However, you get them on another set of products. You give them a little motivation and encouragement to like go for it. So whatever that translates into for you and your business, I thought that was a great idea.
Okay.
All right, what are you saying? What are you writing?
I've got all the stuff here. Okay, so real fast, I thought this is really interesting. So on Monday afternoon, we had a meeting with Eric Worre, and he shared a lot of things. He was like the highlight of my whole week. I thought he was really good. I've always liked him. And so I wanted to point out a couple different things. So I have some homework for you. It's the same homework I'm doing myself. And so I'm not going to tell you something I'm not doing. And so but he gave some statistics, and he's been in the network marketing industry at a high level for 30 plus years. He's helped 1,000 people, over 1,000 people make over $1 million in network marketing. That's a lot of money. So he has the proper foundation to teach and preach these things. But he gave this, I'll put it up here. Some people like to read it. I don't know if you can read it. And this is for network marketing, and it might be backwards for you. I don't even know. Is it backwards for you, or can you read it?
It's interpret.
So he wrote this down for all. This is network marketing across the board. Lifetime recruiting numbers. 70% of he said distributors. We call them ambassadors. 70% recruit nobody. 70% of the people on any given team recruit zero. 20% of any organization recruits 1 to 2 people. 5% recruits 3 to 5. And then 3% recruits 6 to 9 people. And 2% of all network marketing across the board, MLMs, 2% of distributors or ambassadors recruit more than 10. I thought this was really interesting, and I've read these sort of statistics throughout the years, but this is a good reminder. The 2% drives everything. The 2% recruits, he said, an average of 27 people, which equals like 70% of all distributors are recruited by the 2%. So if you're looking at your team, one thing I would encourage you to do, this is the home, well, one thing is real quick. So same idea, but if you're looking at your team and you're thinking, I've got like one person doing something. Yeah, you're in network marketing. That's the statistics. You're in the same boat as the rest of us. And so like, I heard one guy say one time, like, I've recruited 100 people. Out of those 100 people, 20 have done something. Out of those 20 people, 4 made me a millionaire. I think that might be in the Millionaire by Halftime book. But I thought those statistics were very good. So don't, if this looks a lot like your organization, then you're average. You're just the same as the rest of us. So don't get discouraged.
Keep going.
You're not going to recruit 50 diamonds. You might, I guess. It would be really awesome if you did. But statistically speaking, you're probably going to recruit over your career. You're probably going to recruit like 2% of your recruits are going to do the majority of your work. And so work with what you got. But I want to encourage you to take an audit. And this is one thing that we learned from Eric Worre on that Monday morning or that Monday afternoon meeting. He said, audit yourself first. And that's what I'm doing. So take a look at where you are at the end of June 2025. Look at where you were at the end of June 2024. What's the pattern? Are we going up? Are we going down? And start making a goal or a plan of where are you going to be June 2026, which will be convention. And so just really take an audit of those things. I thought that was really good. And then he said, do an audit of your team and look at the same things. Where were they at June, convention 2024? Where were they this convention? And where do you want them to be, or where do they want to be ultimately at convention 2026?
He said to look at your habits,
Mm-hmm.
your limiting beliefs, and your DMOs or your business
Right.
flows or whatever. Where are they right now? Where would you like to see them in 12 months? And he goes, go back to your people and find out if their original dream is still alive. Like, just wake them up. Hey, is that dream still alive? It's like, go back to your people. It's totally fine. He did share the 5 attributes of a leader. I was going to tell you guys this. Is that gonna flow with what you're gonna say?
No, but good.
Okay, I thought these were really good. So when you're doing your self audit yourself on these areas too. Number one, they're independent. We're not waiting on somebody else to lead them. Number two, problem solvers. Number three, they're consistent, and that builds trust. Number four, they have a big vision and can communicate it. And number five, they create action that wouldn't have happened without them. He said, make a decision to become world class on the basic skills. He said, when I decided that, fear left my body. He might have said this in the session too, I can't remember. He said, you need to make a decision to do it or die. He goes, I decided to become the best leader. And he goes, get so good they can't ignore you and be fanatical about small things that make a big difference. Okay.
All right. So one other thing real fast is he also mentioned retention. These are just statistics, network marketing statistics across the board, all companies. But first, retention. I thought this was very interesting. Retention, if you increase your retention by 5%, your paycheck will increase by 30%. So if you increase your retention by 5%, your paycheck will increase by 30%. And he said that those who make any money in their first 90 days, even if it's $1, they have a 74% retention rate, even if they make $1 in their first 90 days. And those who don't have a 20% retention rate. We've seen some of those statistics in the past, in the years, and but I thought that was really interesting. And the cool thing is that we have so many different programs right now and so many different ways to help people make $1. Like, if not, send them $1. I mean, if it's going to increase retention by 54%, I mean, I'll just mail $1 to all the people that sign up. And so, but the thing is, we have a lot of different things going on. The Icon program with Eric Worre, I think, will be very good. And because it moves you in a direction towards senior silver, and if you get there fast, the more than $1 is covered because of bonuses and fast starts. The senior gold fly-in, like, there's so many marketable things they're giving us right now. It's ridiculous. Has anybody ever been part of a company that gives this many incentives for you to succeed?
No.
Like, it's insane. The senior gold fly-in, for some of you, you can look at your team. Who's close to going senior gold? Market the senior gold fly-in to Scottsdale. If you've never been to, or anybody on your team has never been to the corporate office, I think it's awesome. It's just a really unique place and a lot of really unique people. The Fast Start program, they were just announced the other day. We have so many things for next year too, that you can start marketing and helping people with. Leaders Retreat to Mexico, Emerald Extravaganza to Mexico next fall, Columbus Convention. We're launching into Japan. There's like so many different opportunities. The skincare, the skin health program that we have. They're like giving us every tool needed to succeed and then some. We just have to go use them.
And it's super fun to earn all the things.
Yeah,
like,
it's
worth
awesome.
it, and it's worth inspiring your people to go for it. Amber, the people don't have to be new, brandy new. Like, you can. That's why I'm sorry if that wasn't clear. I was combing through the list of people that have gone silver or added one or had some points from a customer, because those are people. Or maybe you have someone that's like at 30 points and has never like just gotten over the hump. That can count as your senior silver, as one of your people. And I would say probably I don't want to put this out there necessarily on all of us, but I would say probably most of us can lock in the 10 level ones, no problem. No problem. We'll get the people however we need to, right? So the senior silver, two of those people is a huge focus, a huge area. And it might come from your new people. It may not be from the old people.
Right.
And that's fine. We just don't know who those people are yet.
One other thing on the Icon program, for a leaders retreat. So if you can get your 12, I guess, locked in, your 10 recruits and the 2 senior silvers by August 31st, you get 800 credits for leaders retreat.
Does that mean we earn it?
I haven't seen
Okay.
the rules of leaders retreat, but that's a
Regardless.
bunch.
Regardless.
Like before leaders retreat starts, you can even have 800 credits. So that's another marketable tool we have. And another thing is the 100 events in 100 days that they're doing again. We are hosting one. If you're near us, we'd love to have you come, and we'll put more information about that in all the threads. But if you're not near us, then either host one yourself,
It
have
sounds like-
corporate come to your place, or find
Yeah.
one near to you and go, because it'll be the events are important. And we're going to start doing not a lot more maybe, but we're going to go back to doing events like we did back in the day. Kids, get in the van. We're going to an event. And so now they're old enough to watch themselves. So we could just get, we don't have to take them with us, which I'm sure they'll be thankful.
I was
for that.
thinking that you had to be a jewel to host it, but from what it sounded
I don't
like,
know.
if you're willing to gather the people, they'll come to you. And so I'll get some graphics made, but there is one in Tennessee. There's actually 2 in Tennessee, from what I understand. I think Becky's getting one going in Henderson. Angie and Madison are doing one in the Chattanooga area. I'm pretty sure Melody's hosting one in Ohio, and I need to find out if the girls in Maine are hosting one. But there will be lots of opportunities.
Somebody in Maine will be hosting something.
Yeah.
Whether it's on this team or another up in that area, somebody will be hosting one.
Victoria, you could host one.
Bam!
There you
There
go.
we go. So,
Okay.
hey,
All right. What you guys got? Anybody?
comments, questions, complaints.
Okay, July 26th. Fantastic.
Chattanooga, there we go. Coming up quick.
Hey, Megan, be sure to let your girl know. I can't think of what her name is. You have somebody here in Chattanooga. She has some people.
Oh yeah, Stacy.
Yeah.
Leah's neighbor. Okay.
And Leah. I mean, she can come too.
Leah, yes.
Yeah, she can come.
She's been enthusiasm.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Okay. Well, team calls at 7:30.
Yep.
So we will see you guys back for that. I'm really wanting our team calls to have more attendance. So if we could just like network with our people, I messaged Amanda about throwing out a text to like all of our people. So let's like really drive to attendance on the team call and encourage people to tap in. I mean, regardless of whether they came to convention, like if people aren't plugged into community, like they're gonna fizzle, they're gonna get discouraged. It's not the same being on a live call as listening to it on replay double speed. Like they can be on live. It's always the best. And then Eric is asking, I got a text. He said, can we please drive to this Thursday call for Icon? That's kind of the kickoff call. But then all those calls in July, like those are fantastic. Like let's get all of our people. We're not having to create the system or the calls. Like he's doing all of those in the month of July on Wednesdays. So I'm feeling so thrilled about that. So like, let's commit to that call and be on that live and just commit to it. Put it in your calendar and be on, because we get to learn from one of the best in the industry. So,
Yep.
Okay. All right. See you guys at 7:30. See ya.